You are watching the Christian Authors on Tour TV show, and we are excited that you are joining us. I'm here with my co host, Leroy.
We're back.
We're back. This is Leroy McKenzie Jr., and wow, it is such an honor to co host with
Oh,
you
come on
today.
now. It is my pleasure, And it's different, like you said last week, about the difference between being on the radio because of the Christian Authors on Tour radio show and then
Absolutely.
now being across from each other and actually doing it. So,
Absolutely. And so we want to thank you for tuning in. This is our second broadcast. We are
yes.
really excited about this new opportunity, and we hope you are too. And we know some of you are because we've had close to 2,000
I
plus
know,
just
right?
in 4 days.
So
And so
keep watching.
I haven't
Keep
even
watching.
checked today to see what the numbers are. But listen, we want to thank you for tuning in. We want to encourage you. Keep watching, share with your friends, your family members. We always talk about the fact that when we watch TV, we don't see a lot of quality or substantive programs. And
Absolutely.
so we have an opportunity to really set the path, in terms of talk TV, in terms of providing opportunities for people to get to know people like this wonderful woman of God we have here today, and others who will be coming in
Absolutely.
to the Christian Authors on Tour TV show to talk about the books that God has laid on their heart to write. Right?
Absolutely, and birthed in them. And it is
Yeah.
just an awesome thing. And like you said, it gives the opportunity that you would not normally see. And I love that,
Yes.
spotlighting people that you
Yes.
aren't going to hear about every ordinarily. So I love it.
Absolutely.
I love
Yes. Yes. Yes.
it.
And so, just want to just share with you, if you don't know, Christian Authors on Tour. We have been around since 2008. I can't believe it's been that
Oh,
long.
wow.
And we've provided an opportunity for Christian book lovers to meet up with Christian authors, men, women of God, on fire for God and committed to using writing as a tool for Christian ministry. The primary way that we connect readers to authors is through our annual, well, really every other year, multi state Christian book tour. And that's an opportunity for book lovers, all ages, to meet up with us in different parts of the country to convene for a day of books, fellowship, and praise. And so this year in 2018, this is our planning year, and we do the multi state Christian book tours in the odd number years. So 2019 is our
Yeah.
year, and we're really excited. We're preparing to launch. We're hoping to make that information public in terms of the book tour and the stops probably sometime in the fall. But until then, we're doing what we call some promotional events. And Leroy, you were
Yes.
part of one of our promotional events back in April, the Men of Christian
That's
Authors
right.
on Tour.
Yes.
Talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that.
Oh man, I mean the Christian Men of Christian Authors on Tour, the literary event that we had, literary event, leadership, focusing on leadership, was
Yes.
an awesome event. It gave the opportunity to give a perspective on leadership from the male perspective, of course, but there were a panel of just phenomenal men who have written books, but also were able to talk about leadership
Yes.
and what leadership meant to them, but then also what leadership meant to men overall. So it
Absolutely.
is just it was an awesome event, and I think we got something coming up for the ladies too, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Save the date, October the 14th, Sunday, October the 14th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Quality Inn in Baltimore, Maryland. We are introducing the ladies of Christian Authors on Tour. So far, we have Tracy Lydia Garner booked, as well as Deborah Sally. And we have a few other authors that we're looking to spotlight. And we'll have 9 women of God that we're featuring at this particular event. And we're doing these 2 literary events as a way to get everybody excited about the 2019 Multi-State Christian Book Tour. And we also have, in addition to those literary events, we have a Christian book club online brown bag lunch series that we've been doing since January. And it's really an opportunity to really spotlight some of the men and women of God who work with us with Christian authors on tour, and to really give them an opportunity to, again, share the work that they're doing and to connect them with people who love books. And so this month, the month of July, we are featuring the same author that we're featuring in our 2018 Christian Authors on Tour photo wall calendar, and that's Christian children's book author Veronica Lagrone, and she's out of St. Louis, Missouri. And so if you want more information about the introducing the Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour literary event, the online brown bag lunch series, Christian book club that's coming up, or the calendar that I mentioned, if you want to purchase our online calendar, and I know it's July, but hey, it's a keepsake and it's supporting this wonderful organization, visit our website, www.christianauthorsontour.com. That's www.christianauthorsontour.com. And we're excited about the expansion into TV, but we've been doing Blog Talk Radio for just as long as Christian Authors on Tour has been around. We started Christian Authors on Tour in 2008, and we started our Blog Talk Radio show in 2009.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, and the radio show has just been of course, has been phenomenal, giving that platform, the initial platform for Christian Authors on Tour that you created and came up with. And that's the Christian Authors on Tour radio show, which airs live every first, third, and fifth Fridays of every month. So you want to be sure to go to blogtalkradio.com, Christian Authors on Tour, to listen live that's every Friday from 2 to 2:30 p.m. Live. And you can use the free download podcast of hundreds of inspirational interviews with Christian authors from all across the globe, and Christian authors that are interested in utilizing this free opportunity to promote and to market your books. You should go to our website again, www.christianauthorsontour.com, and you can go to the CAOT TV radio tab and be able to click on that for more details, or click on the Christian Authors on Tour radio blog talk radio show submit tab, and be able to submit your information for Lynn, so that they will be able to review your information and be able to get back to you about being on the show.
And let me make that clear. You're not submitting it to me. Right. You're giving the contact information so that you get the submission details. And
absolutely.
Actually, we have a producer for the COT Blog Talk Radio show, and that's Mitzi Carasculo, and she is a long-term member of Christian Authors on Tour, and she's been doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, because we don't want Lynn to be bogged down even more right about now.
She's been doing a wonderful job just booking authors who want to utilize, and that's a free opportunity. Right. And oftentimes, authors, I try as much as I can to provide free opportunities, but everything costs.
Exactly.
Even to be here today, it costs. And so, what a blessing it is to be able to offer a free opportunity, and that is via our Christian Authors on Tour Blog Talk Radio show. And then I'm really pleased because we have this wonderful woman of God who's here today, and this is her amazing book. So tell us a little bit about who's here.
Well, for everybody who has not met, you're about to meet Miss Sharon Clarkson. She's always had a strong desire to write since she was a child. Although she loved romance, history, and other nonfiction stories, poetry has always had a special place in her heart. My Dream, her first book of poetry, received impressive feedback. Now, in her recent book, which we're going to be talking about today, My Dream Continues, she gives readers explosive, poetry about relationships and romance. You'll find a riveting message behind each poem. Readers will come away inspired, enjoying every word. In this book, you will want to read over and over again. So I want to introduce everybody to Miss Sharon Clarkson. We want to welcome you to the Christian
Welcome,
Authors
welcome,
TV show.
Thank you very much. I am so happy to be here. And thank you for the opportunity to share with your audience my poetry.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they will truly enjoy it. Like you said, you will want to read this book over and over and over again.
So let's talk a little bit about Sharon, because you said on here that what was it that was that one thing that sparked you into saying you wanted to start writing?
As you were saying earlier, I always loved writing. As a young child, I loved romance novels and mystery novels and anything to do with history. I just gravitated to. But in 2000, I think it was in 2010, I decided to pursue my dream. Right. And that's hence the name of the book, My Dream. This has been my writing journey. This has been me telling my story in the form of poetry. And it's truly a dream come true. And what I tell others as I go along my journey is that you can pursue your dreams as well. Not only pursue them, but achieve them as well.
Yes.
So that's what really got me started, is that I had that strong desire to pursue my dreams. And of course, we have to include the Lord Almighty in everything that we do. And to be quite honest, He sent me these poems. I never one time had to think or write down any of these poems. I just simply captured that which He sent to me in the middle of in the night when I was asleep. He sent me these poems. When I was driving back and forth to work, He sent me these poems. And these poems are supposed to not only be written down but spoken, because it will in some way, help you, inspire you to pursue your dreams, or help you get through your day. So many people have told me this book has helped them in some small way.
Yes.
They're going through challenges for life. We all go through challenges, their struggles day to day. And they'll stop, read one of my poems, and it'll change their perspective on life. They'll start to think positive instead of negative. And that's the purpose of this book, is it's okay, negative things happen, but concentrate on the positive and you'll do well.
Absolutely. So talk to us a little bit about your publishing process. We oftentimes get individuals who are interested in publishing the book for the first time. And I've realized that every author's publishing journey is not the same. So tell us about your publishing journey.
You're absolutely right, Lynn. It's completely different. And mine was a little unorthodox. It was unusual in that I decided that I didn't want to pursue the publishing route. I wanted to self-publish. But someone told me it doesn't matter as long as you publish. It doesn't matter if you self-publish or go through the traditional route. As long as you publish your stories, that's what matters.
Okay.
So what I did was I got what I call the red book and the purple book. The red book was a book that's written by a guy called Dan Poyner. It's called Self-Publishing Manual, Volume 1 and Volume 2, How to Write, Print, and Sell Your Own Book. And that book, those two books, Volume 1 and 2, helped me, stepped me through the entire publishing process. From the time that I wrote my manuscript, which took me about 3 months, believe it or not, to the time that I published my manuscript, which took me about 2 months. I followed his manual step by step. Some things I didn't do because God was in a hurry. He told me these poems needed to be
that. That's a poem right there.
written and spoken. So He was in a hurry, but anyway, I published my book in about 2 months, I'd say. So, but you can do the same thing. I recommend you get the purple book as well as the red book, Volume 1 and 2. You can get it online at Amazon, and I think it will help you if you have a story to tell. And we all have stories to tell.
Absolutely. Now, you said something that really kind of interests me because it's happened to me. You talked about your writing and where you got your poems from. You're driving, you're sleeping in the middle of the night, and I literally have had that happen. And just to give you a quick story, I had sleeping one night, and there's this poem in my head, and writers, we know when something comes, you usually got to write it. You got that pen and pad right next to you. And this particular night, I was just not trying to get I was not trying to get up. But I lied to you not. That it would not let me sleep.
Okay.
The Lord would not let me sleep until I got up
Yes.
and wrote that poem that night.
Yes.
It sticks with you that way. And can you tell, for the audience that's watching and listening, the importance of being able to capture what it is that you're feeling at that moment when you go to write something, whether it's a poem or whether it's even just a book. I mean, whether it's a regular nonfiction, fiction book, to stay with the particular thought that you may have, so that you keep it and not necessarily lose it.
Yes, that's good.
Well, that's interesting you say that. Believe it or not, God sent me about 200 poems that way in the middle of the night or driving, as I was saying earlier. And the thing about it is that I stopped to write them down. If I hadn't stopped to write them down, they would have been lost forever, to be quite honest. My first book of poetry has about 90 of some odd poems, but My Dream Continues has about 120. These are the poems that he sent me. I mean, when you read them, you'll know right away that these poems will touch you. But in terms of, writing things down, yes, record it right away. For me, if I didn't write it down right away, I lost it. And I could never retrieve it again. So it's some things he wanted me to say, and he wanted me to write them down at that moment. And that's what I did. But you're right. It will stay with you. And at times it will stay with you, but you really should write it down and get it done right then and there. Because later on you'll think, what was I trying to say?
Absolutely.
And you'll remember maybe pieces of it, but not the whole entire thing.
Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit about this before we started the broadcast. Won't you share some of your poetry with us?
Well, I'll be more than happy to do that. The first poem in the book is called Love, because we all need a little love and romance in our lives, do we not?
Absolutely.
Indeed.
So where does love come from? So I say, as I say in my book, it comes from above and beyond the stars you see. Love was placed here for both you and me. So that's the very first poem in the book. The second poem in the book is called Extraordinary Man, because I want to give recognition and acknowledgement to those men out there, Christian and otherwise, that are doing really great things and don't get recognized. So the second poem in the book says, to that extraordinary man out there, and you don't know you're extraordinary, but you are.
Amen.
It says, be all that you can, because you are an extraordinary man.
Yeah.
So that one, I always, when someone comes up to me and inquires about the book and it's a man, I always read that one right away, so they know they are special. There's a variety of poems in this book that, if I could take a moment just very quickly and share with your audience. One I like in particular is called Finish. I wrote that for myself, because we all get started on something, your dreams, writing a book, on some big project at home, and you never quite finish. So I always say, you can always go back and finish, but it's important to finish that which you started. So that poem, Finish, starts with, I must finish that which I started. It's critical to me to take a chance and dance with my destiny.
Yeah.
What shall I be? So Finish is that poem that, it doesn't matter how long it takes you to finish. The point is to finish that which you started.
Amen.
I like that.
Amen.
I like that.
Amen.
I like that.
And so for our viewers, if they want to purchase copies of your book, if they want to invite you out as a special guest, how can they do that?
You can contact me a variety of ways. Leroy and I are Facebook friends, so you can always contact me on Facebook. I have an author page.
Okay.
It's the name of the page is called My Dream Fan Page. My Dream Fan Page. You can always get me there. You can always go to my website, www.sclarksonbooks.com, and you'll find a little bit more about me. And also, I'm on Instagram as my dream continues .5. So come on down contact me, connect with me. I'm willing and ready to hear from you. And you also, if you buy a copy, will get an autographed copy, personally to you, of My Dream Continues.
Y'all hear that? Just one question I'd like to ask you now for someone who's an aspiring writer, an aspiring author. What advice would you give them in regards to getting their feet wet in the writing and publishing industry?
It's interesting that you asked me that question. In my book, I have a poem that says, "Don't be afraid." And that's the crux of it all, is that some people, they have wonderful and beautiful stories out there, and no one has heard them.
Yes.
I've had so many people come up to me and tell me their story in like 5 minutes. And I said,
Yes.
you need to write a book. And I've had some people say, well, can you write it for me? But the point is that only you can tell your story. Only I can tell my story. Oh, other people can write it for you, but you can only tell us the special story and the way you use the words and the expression. You see the expression on my face. I know my story, and I'm trying to project that to you.
Yes.
So what I tell people is just to start writing your story down. That's the first step. Write it down. Because if you don't, you keep it in your head, no one will know it. So don't be afraid. Write your story down. Second thing is to get that book, the red book and the purple book. And it will show you how, once you finish writing your story, you can publish your story on your own.
Yes.
Is it easy? No. Does it cost money?
Yes.
Say that again.
I know, right?
But to actually see your book, this is the accomplishment of my dream.
Yes.
To see your book, whatever you want to do, done, accomplished, it's so rewarding. I just can't tell you how rewarding it is. And so many people have been touched by simply the words that I have in this book. It's just amazing. So you can feel that way too. You can accomplish these things as well. So just start writing it down, first of all, and get the red and the purple book, and you'll be on your way.
All right, I had never heard of the red and blue.
Yeah, me
I'm
either. So
certainly
that's
going to
great
do a little bit of
information.
research
I know, right?
on my own to check that out. Now, this is awesome. This has been a journey for you in terms of, from 2010 to now. What's next?
I'm so glad you asked me that,
Yes.
because guess what? What's next is short stories and novels.
All right.
Even though I love poetry and it holds a special place in my heart, I have so much to say and so many stories to share. It's like my cup runneth over. I have so much to say. So I'll say it in the form of short stories, and then there'll be novels. And I'll tell your audience a secret. This book has about 120 poems, and guess what?
Put that book up so they can see that.
This book has about 120 poems, and guess what? Each poem has a riveting message behind it, and each poem is a novel, believe it or not. There is a story behind each poem, and it's not a short story. It's a long story. So I have 120 novels to write.
Wow.
That will keep
It is. I like that. I like that.
That will keep you
that's
busy.
right. That's you're gonna be busy for
She
many
even put a
days.
thought in my head because I'm like, wait a minute, I need to start making books out of my poems.
So that's what's ahead of me in the future, and I'm
Yes.
really excited. I'm really excited.
All right. All right.
That is awesome. Before we go, and we'll share your information once again before, can you talk about your journey? You talk about the journey, the writer that you were when you first started writing to the writer that you are now. Have you seen the progression and the difference between that initial writer, Sharon, and then the writer that's now that has My Dream Continues?
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm so proud of myself. I've done so, well, and it's only because of persistence. Sometimes you can get discouraged, and you've done one thing and you want to do so many more, but you don't have the energy. But you persevere, you push on.
Absolutely.
I have in my first book, I had a poem called "Give Up." It was never about giving up. It was never about giving up. It was about never giving up on your dreams and aspirations and all those things you want to do in life. So I always go back to that poem. I pull the first book out and I'll read "Give Up." So because it starts out with "Never give up, no matter how long it takes. Never give up, for you will get that special break. Break into your dreams and destiny with full force. Navigate your move and take the right course." So I always go back to that poem. That inspires me to never give up, that I've come from one place where I was kind of clumsy, just trying to find my way, trying to figure out how I was going to put this together and publish. It looked daunting. It looked difficult. It is. I'm not saying it's not difficult, but you can do it. And now that I've done it, and I've done it several times, I'm ready for the challenges that are ahead, because I know my words will in some way help someone out there. That's why I'm doing this. Some way it's going to help you pursue your dreams, or help you with challenges of life, and it's worth it.
Absolutely. It's definitely worth it. And for anyone who's watching today, and perhaps they need some words of encouragement, can you close us out with some words of encouragement for someone who's watching today?
I always go back to my first poem, the Give Up poem, which I say never give up. Life is full of challenges.
Yes,
it's
it is.
expected. It unfortunately, that's where life is. But don't let those challenges get you down. Never be afraid to do those things that make you happy in life. It's so important to live out God's dreams and aspirations for yourself. We're all here for a reason, a purpose, and I know why I'm here. And I know why He put me here, and I'm living that dream. And you can do the same. You can find out what your purpose is in life, and you can pursue that which makes you happy. So that's what I say.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you so much. It has been a joy
Thank you.
to interview you today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If you haven't been inspired today, I don't know what will inspire you. So you want to go out and pick up My Dream Continues to Make Your Dream Continue by Miss Sharon Clarkson. We want to thank you again for joining us today. It has been inspirational, to say the least.
And give your website information one more time.
Again, you can always reach me at my website, www.sclarksonbooks.com.
Yes.
Looking forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely, and we do hope you follow up. What a wonderful, wonderful book. Hold that book up.
I know,
So
one more
they
time,
can
right?
cover. And
Absolutely.
I love this, just the artistry of
Yeah,
the front
it is.
cover. Yeah, that's beautiful.
We actually should have talked about that too with book covers.
We'll have to do a follow-up. So, we are on Facebook. We have the Christian Authors on Tour TV show Facebook page. So if you want to follow up with questions today, post those questions online. CAOT TV show Facebook page. If you have additional questions or thoughts, from watching the interview today, follow up, and we'll make sure that we get those questions to Sharon so that she could follow through, or you might respond if you want. If you see the questions on the page, just respond directly. Want to encourage you all. We are so, as a group, Christian Authors on Tour, is just so excited about the opportunity to connect with different authors from all over the country. And what's wonderful about this venue now is that we're able to connect with authors across the globe, and that's exciting too. But want to encourage you to go to our website, www.christianauthorsontour.com. Has had an opportunity, Leroy, to work on revising the website. So we put up some new information, and so want to encourage folks to go there, click on the link, scroll through. You can even watch a few videos of past events to get an idea of what a multi-state Christian book tour looks like, what the experience is. And so we want to encourage you to take a look at that, so that in 2019, when we come out with the 2019 Seed in Good Ground Christian Authors on Tour, and we start talking about our tour stops in all of these different cities across the United States, it won't be a surprise to you. You'll say, oh yeah, I remember them talking about that, right? Yep. So make sure you check us out online at www.christianauthorsontour.com. If the internet is not the thing for you, even though you're watching us on the internet right now, you can give us a call at 800-929-1418. That's 800-929-1418. And Leroy, I just want to thank you for co-hosting with me today.
It's always a pleasure. It is always. I've enjoyed this tremendously, and episode 2 is down now, so
yes,
we rolling.
Yes, and next Friday, I want want to encourage you all to tune in next Friday, July 20th. We have Christian Authors on Tour member Lynn Calvin. She's a Christian children's book author. And then on July 27th, and I think next Friday on July 20th, Pastor Kevin and I are co-hosting. And then on July 27th, Pastor Kevin and you, Leroy, will be holding down the fort, right? And our guest author is Kristen J. Bell. So please tune in. We thank you for tuning in today.
Absolutely,
right?
yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And encourage you, www.christianauthorsoontour.com. And if you are a Christian author and you want to see yourself in the red chair, you can give us a call at 800-929-1418, and we can make that happen for you. We're so thankful for you tuning in today, and we look forward to growing this experience with you. It's awesome to get people excited about Christian books.
Absolutely.
But we want you to remember that there is a book that is far more meaningful and purposeful than any book that any of us can write, and that's the Holy Bible. And we want to make sure that you pick up that book, that you spend some time in it, that you find a scripture, that you hide it in your heart and live it. Bye-bye.